Hi, my name is Laura Nasipak, and I am the VP of Communications for the Winkley PTA. Today, we are having a fun conversation with Ashley Anderson. She is the Leander ISD Parent Liaison for the Special Education Services, and she started working at Leander ISD November. And prior to that, she had a background in social work and mental health counseling. And so she's bringing a lot of experience into the district and is very excited to work with parents and focusing on education and resources and helping them throughout their journey of education for their child. And we also have Kelly Fanning. Kelly is a Winkley PTA member, and she is our Inclusion Chair. She is also a parent of an awesome second grader that attends Winkley and is going to share some of her experiences going through the education process as well. So, Ashley, to start us off, I know that some people are going to be more familiar than others. So, as the LISD Special Education Parent Liaison, can you share with us some of the things that you can help parents with?
Yes. So one of the main things I help parents with are, if you have any questions or concerns about the special education process here in Leander, if you need help going over the ARD process, which we call our admission review and dismissal committee, I can walk you through, what's going to happen at the meeting. What should you expect? We can go over all the handbooks you get. I'm also a great community resource. And I also help put together what we call our parent programming. So several nights of the month, we have different types of parent education nights. For instance, this spring, we actually did a really good series. Well, we started a really good series on the ARD process. We still have some more to go, but we kind of broke down the steps of this is what this step is. This is why we do it. This is the kind of information we need from you as a parent at this step. We've done a workshop series where we've had departments like our speech, OTPT, who else did we have? Assistive technology. They came and they talked about a little bit of what they did, but they also provided parents activities to use at home to continue that skill building in the home environment. We have our transition to adulthood meetings, which we recommend those for students of all ages, just to give parents an idea of what futures planning looks like, what kind of community resources are out there, what kind of skills, they need to maybe work on building now, such as, self-determination, self-advocacy. Those meetings are really fun. We have our AAC family chats that stands for Augmentative and Alternative Communication. So that's for families of students who may use pictures or communication devices to communicate. We have a team that meets once a month. We also do support groups. So right now we have one that's steady, but we have two and some more that we're working on getting together. And these are just opportunities for families to come together and meet and share their experiences, share what they may be struggling with, share tips, just to build community within themselves.
Okay. So in those community groups, is it for like one single school, or it goes across all of the schools in the district, all grade levels?
It goes across all the schools. It's for all the district.
Okay. So this year, man, what a tough year to be new. What are some of the big things that you learned along the way and getting familiar with everything that may be helpful to parents that either have students in the SPED program or may be entering new to the district and into special education services?
So you kind of touched on it earlier. So my background in the past has primarily been social work and mental health counseling. So the world of special education is fairly new to me. So I've honestly had the privilege of learning everything as a parent would with like a fresh perspective. And I can see how it can be overwhelming when you're given a lot of this information and you feel like, hey, I need to be the expert at this when I show up to these meetings. I'm supposed to know all these things. And so I'm really excited that I have the opportunity to help parents work through that. And we can talk about, hey, this is what's supposed to happen. This is what's going to happen. I know it's overwhelming. I know it's scary, but it's we're going to get through it. It's going to be okay. And also I can help parents, with a variety of community resources and just making connections with other people who can help within the district.
Kelly, you have a student that is a part of the SPED program and has been at Winkley since he was younger, starting with the ESLE program that they offer in the district. I imagine you've navigated a lot of pathways and had to figure some things out along the road. And I'm just curious if you have any advice that you could give parents that may be new to the district or new to special education services, or just trying to find their way through this.
Logan's been part of ESLE since he did his evaluation when he was 3. So he's been part of Winkley since he was 3 years old. And that's the important thing. We want him to have that community and everything. And the best advice I could give right now is just to give Ashley a call. All those resources are there. And I wasn't even aware that they were there at the time. So it's really important. And they don't really know what we need until we contact them. So that's important.
Thanks, Kelly. Ashley, for this summer, which is already upon us just about, and leading into next school year, do you have goals of new tools or community groups or parent education sessions, or anything that you're hoping to introduce that we would be excited to hear about coming into next school year?
Yes, I am very excited for this upcoming school year. As you know, the pandemic has kind of changed the way we communicate. So for a lot of people right now, I'm a face on a brochure or a name on an email. So I'm really excited to get out more and continue building connections with our SEPTA, our parent-teacher organizations, our staff, so that they know that I'm a support here for parents as well. I've done a lot of research, gotten a lot of feedback through conversation and surveys on how we can better restructure the parent programming that we have. So we're sure that we're getting information to parents that are actually going to support their families, their things that they need. And there's some more things, but I'm just really excited. It's going to be my first full year.
Yeah, that, I hope, gosh, all of us, I think, hope that next year we have a lot more opportunity to get together in person and, figuring out how to do that safely. And it's gonna be awesome. We're excited to see the things that you introduce. What is an area that you can help parents or teachers, for that matter, that they may not be aware of?
So overall, I'm a support resource. I've also, that's part of one of the things we're working on towards now and next year, building relationships with different community groups that can help, provide services to our families. There may be times that people are really just unsure of what to do or what they need, or if, they can even ask for this kind of help. Like, all you have to do is reach out and ask. I can help you find just about anything. As I've been going through my searches, there is something literally out there. You just have to dig and find it.
Yeah. Kind of shifting gears a little bit, this month has historically been deemed Autism Awareness Month. But, the shift is focusing more on acceptance. And I'm just curious, what does acceptance mean to you, and how would you like to see that look at our schools across the district?
So I do believe that awareness and acceptance really go hand in hand. So on this hand, you have awareness, which is, our basic knowledge about the thing. And then on this hand, you have acceptance, which is the understanding and actions we take from our knowledge. So acceptance, essentially, it's an ongoing process. So when I first started, one of the first projects I was kind of put in was a collaborative book study where we discussed the book, Your Students, My Students, Our Students. And that book really takes a look at not just looking at students from just general education and special education, but looking at them as students and how do we serve them. And it's been interesting watching the different leaders that were a part of that book study begin to implement the things from that book within their teams. So I'm really excited to see how that begins to trickle down within the district. I actually had a really cool moment last week. I got to visit one of our middle schools and I saw their Autism Awareness Month display. So it didn't just have like your basic facts and statistics about autism. It had resources on, how to be a friend to someone who has autism, how to support your friend if you see them having a difficult moment, ways you can exercise patience. I think continuing to keep things like that and put information like that out is what's really going to help continue in our acceptance action.
Kelly, as a parent of a child with autism, what does acceptance mean to you?
I really like what Ashley said about the awareness and the acceptance. I like the shift to the acceptance, but you really have to take them both together. And the biggest thing is that if you have questions, ask. We do things kind of differently sometimes. Sometimes Logan has his headphones on because the noise is too much. Sometimes he has his iPad in the middle of a park, and that's okay. Maybe just ask, and it's okay. Don't be afraid of us.
Ashley, do you have any last thoughts or words of wisdom to share with our parents and teacher community?
I think Kelly honestly really just hit it. It's okay to ask questions. It's okay to be unsure. It's okay to be overwhelmed or confused. It's okay. Honestly, all you have to do is reach out and say, hey, I need help with this. You might be overwhelmed and be like, I'm not sure what to do with any of this. We can definitely talk it through. We can see what steps we need to take, who we need to connect you with. It's all about taking that step, but it's okay. Like, we're here to support you all.
It's beautiful. And I think that's something that as humans, we forget. We want to look like we have it all together. We've got it all figured out when most of us never do.
That really is part of the hard part, is that nobody does have it figured out. And it took me a while to figure that out. Nobody has all the answers. And when you hear the experts say that you're the expert on your child, it didn't really register at first, because there's no one path for everybody. So what works for my friends may not work for me. And it's a trial and error process. You got to keep going. I like it.
Well, thank you, Ashley and Kelly, for doing this Zoom recording and interview and discussion today. I think it's so important. It's important for our community. It's important for our students. It's important for, everyone to just talk. And, I hope that in the future we can do more interviews like this, or maybe another PTA could host Ashley to answer some other questions. And, it's getting the talking going and getting it out in the open. And that's, really, I think with any topic, that's what leads us down to a road of acceptance. So thank you.